you expect to be here after the trade deadline? He said, I fully expect to be here, so stay tuned on that.
Had a discussion with some people about it today. As you look at the Eastern Conference standings brought to you by Illinois Lottery, the Pacers are up early on the Lakers. They're already in action. If Indiana does lose and the Bulls win, then the Bulls can come back into the playoff picture for the time being. But Caruso, unless you get exactly what you want from him, I don't think he's going to be in any other uniform other than a Chicago uniform.
No, and he's got a really friendly contract.
Yep.
And this is a guy that is probably outplaying his contract. So when you you bring Lonzo Ball back, you got two shutdown defenders in your lineup that can really alter the game defensively.
Here is the younger brother of Lonzo, LaMelo Ball, coming off a triple-double in a loss against Milwaukee. The Hornets are 2-1 in their last 3 games. Here is Gordon Hayward knocking down the jumper.
And today, the Bulls guys have to get over these screens and recapture the guy who has the ball.
Yep.
You can't put Vooch out there switching all the time. You got to get over screens and help.
Slip to Dosunmu, takes it through traffic to tie the game.
Nice cut that time, good ball movement.
If Stacey is saying ball movement and player movement tonight, that's usually a positive sign for this team. Here's Washington, gets it to go. P.J. Washington with Mason Plumlee, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, and LaMelo Ball, the starting 5 for the Hornets. Here's Levine working on Rozier. That was out of bounds.
Probably should have came right back to Vooch. Vooch was wide open at the three-point line. They're running that little down screen. We talked about it last game.
Yep.
Running that down screen and really using Vooch as a wing player on the offensive end.
He's got the shooting ability of one, so why not? All 3 of the Bulls' big trio had very good offensive months in January. Terry Rozier had an outstanding month of January for Charlotte. He really stepped the time while LaMelo Ball was out.
Well, he had a big game against us in Charlotte.
Yep. Really got off to a great start. Here's a nice pass. Dosunmu gets it from DeRozan and a foul.
And that's what has to be done every single minute on the floor. Hit the first man you see, make the play, make the basketball play. There you dive cuts, and then right there, boom. Make a hard cut, you get the ball. It's a simple game.
You sometimes point out the stagnancy of the offense when they're spread. And part of that is they're leaning on one guy in an ISO situation. When you see guys diving, that's a good sign.
Well, and you know what, Adam? You can't depend on one guy anymore. Not now.
No.
It's late in the season now. We got to depend on everybody to try to get these games and win these games.
Absolutely.
And you're only separated by about 3 or 4 games out of the top 6, top 6 spots. So you got to start buckling down and getting these games.
DeRozan, the double, Vucevic, extra feed. Looking for help, and now every Bull has touched it on this possession. Williams trying to get it into Vucevic, but Rozier got in front.
Too late. It's got to be in there. Automatic. He sealed him on his back. Don't hesitate.
There is Ball. Remember, he started with a dreadful shooting night against the Bulls last week, but I know LeVar would say this, keep shooting. He hit the biggest 3 of the night in that game.
Well, he talked about on the podcast last night that he's really a 2-guard. He wants to be a 2-guard. He's playing point guard on this team, but he wants to score.
And here he is, dishing to the last moment to Plumlee. LaMelo Ball, highly skilled, averaging a career high in points and assists per game. Williams finds himself in space. Rebound LaMelo Ball. Here he comes. Kicks to Rozier. All day to shoot. Misses.
Boy, Benjamin called a timeout. He was wide open.
Levine, the slip, Vucevic, nice easy deuce. We've seen that play work very often this last month.
Well, the key is utilizing it, getting it going early, getting loose touches early, because you do good things happen.
You'd like to see that sustained throughout games. Rozier, awkward dribble, double dribble. Turnover for Charlotte. Pacers now up 13, by the way, at half on the Lakers. Tyrese Halliburton got named to the All-Star team, as you and I predicted he would, even coming back. He's back from injury tonight.
Wow. Well, he's had an All-Star caliber year.
Absolutely. Speaking of All-Stars, it's DeRozan off target. Plumlee the rebound. last year in LaMelo Ball, the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago.
Well, you want to reward guys for being on winning teams. And Tyrese Halliburton, one of the reasons why Indiana is even in the playoff contention.
Remember, they had lost 7 in a row without him until that comeback against the Bulls last week. Wow, Hayward was wide open.
Oh, boy, he just missed a wide open layup. And what I always say is you're scared by a dog. He threw that up there like somebody was, a new goal was in there. Oh, my goodness.
Here is Levine, backs up for the jumper.
I tell you what, Zach didn't shoot the ball particularly well last game against the Clippers, but 14 rebounds, the stats that he put up, almost had a triple-double.
Went 6 of 14 from the field, but career-high 14 boards. And he played really good defense for stretches. Hayward draws contact. He'll have 2 free throws coming. Here are the reserves that were announced today out of both conferences. Of course, there'll be the draft for Team Giannis and Team LeBron. We'll do that right before the game. Very well earned for Lowry Markkanen and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 first-time All-Stars we felt deserved it. And Paul George, who the Bulls just saw the other night.
I'm telling you, this league is deep.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not anybody, you know, those are not names like, oh, they got lucky. No, those guys played really well. And there's a lot of guys that are not on the All-Star team that could have easily been on there as well.
4 points for Gordon Hayward, 2-point lead for Charlotte. There's Levine. Rozier clears the space. Vucevic fakes it, gives it up for a Levine 3.
Talk about this is one of the best catch-and-shoot guys in the game. And you don't mind him taking those shots. Shooting and encourage him to take them.
Shooting in the mid-40s in catch-and-shoot scenarios from 3. Speaking of 3, Rozier. And Billy Donovan will use a timeout. Rozier's ended up with a couple of wide-open looks. And Billy Donovan's going to talk about the defense.